Alright, let's go ahead and do lesson 48. It's subtracting mixed numbers with regrouping. And this we're building on something we learned in the past. So let's go ahead and review. So if you have, let's say, this is review problem number 1. We'll just call it problem number 1. If you have, say, 6 pies, and someone comes in and they want to buy 3 pies, but they also want to eat 1/6 of 1 pie. Say 1/6 is just a piece of pie. So imagine 6 pies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on top of that, so they want to buy 3, 1, 2, 3, and they also want to buy a piece. So let's say, so they want to buy 1 piece of pie while they're there and eat that. So how many pies are you going to have left over? You're going to have 1, 2, and then 5, 6. But if you want to show that mathematically, this is how you would have to do that. You have to borrow from the whole number. The whole number becomes 5. Then I'm going to put the 1 over here, and so that's going to be 6/6. And 6 6/6 minus 1/6 is 5/6. Okay? And then 5 minus 3 is 2. And that's exactly what you have over here, 2 and 5/6. You guys remember how to do that. Now we're going to build on that and do some different problems. So without further ado, let's forge ahead and do some problems that kind of have to do with this, but are a little bit different. Alright, so say you have 4 pies, and then you have an extra piece. So you have 4 and 1/6 on a shelf. Someone comes in and let's say they buy two pies, so they want 2 pies, and then they want to eat a piece of pie too. So let's say there's another pie, and they want to eat 1 while they're there, and then take 2 home for Thanksgiving. So we're basically subtracting 2, and let's say they eat 2 pies. It's a husband and wife. They come in and they have a pie date. So we're going to subtract 2 and 2/6. All right. So you have 1/6 of a pie, and we're going to subtract 2/6. So you have to borrow from the 4. Okay. The 4 becomes a 3, and we're going to move that 1 over here to fraction land. But we already have 1/6 here. We used to have nothing there, and we would just add 6/6. But now we already have 1/6 over here, so we need to combine these two. 6/6 plus 1/6 is going to be 7/6. So we don't need that anymore because we added 6/6 to the 1/6 that we already have. Now we can subtract. 7 minus 2 is going to be 5/6, and 3 minus 2 is 1 and 5/6. So let's see if that's right. How much do we have left? We have 1 pie, and how many 6 left over? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't forget this little one, 5. So this works. We have 1 and 5/6 left over. Let's do a couple practice problems. Alright, here's a problem without the pies. We're just going to look at the numbers this time. So we have 5 and 1/3 minus 2 and 2/3. So evaluate the fractions first. We want to have 1/3 minus 2/3. But if you only have 1, you can't take away 2 from 1. So we have to borrow from whole number land. I call it whole number land. So we're going to borrow from the 5. 5 is going to become a 4. Now that 1 doesn't just disappear. We got to take that 1 over here to fraction land. And I'm going to add in a fraction right here. So what is a fraction that has 3 on the bottom that also equals 1? I'm sure you guys are already thinking 3/3. Now I have to take 3/3 and I got to add it to 1/3, because remember we already had 1/3. We can't just put 3/3 there. So I'm going to take 3 plus 1. That's going to be 4/3. Now you can erase this because we no longer need that. We added the 3/3 to the 1/3 and got 4/3. 4/3 minus 2/3 is going to be 2/3. 4 minus 2 is 2. So the answer for this is 2 and 2/3.